Yeah, well, we're live. I have no plan for what.
Joe Betta is not.
I have no plan either.
Every time I make a plan, I realize that like it goes in no direction that allows me to utilize it. So
hello.
We're having a day.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. And welcome to the Mercenaries of Mischief. It is Sunday. And I, as always, am your benevolent Dungeon Master, Puck, and I am joined today by these individuals who are looking to play a game of Dungeons & Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
They are in no particular order. One, Miss Lilith Singer.
Hello.
Joining us today. Also joining us today is the half-giant barbarian, Mr. Radan. No last name, like Cher.
Hello, of course.
Also joining us is one Kashano the Quick.
Dead man walking.
We'll figure it out.
Finally, joining us also one Gilbetta Fakin Not Cleric of
Not okay. I'm not okay.
Oh my god, I love your name.
When last we left our heroes,
Uh-huh.
they had made their way into an area. Well, first we had a delightful dinosaur race, and it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. We met a cool NPC. His name was Reggie Riptire.
And we all decided to leave the academy and become professional dinosaur racers, so we don't.
And that's where it went.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of the show.
And then after that, you went and found a place that allowed you to commune with the Prince of Lies, Sirak himself.
We were having so much fun.
It was great. Can we just do a recap of last week? Can we just sit and
Let's go back to the race. Look, Reggie's here.
Reggie. Ball and Snappy are here. The gang all here. I have so much money.
So the place you're in is pitch black all around you, and it's almost thick. There's a difficulty to your movements, and the figure that appears before you is slim, almost gaunt, with arms and legs that are too long, with slim features, almost elven, almost Weasley in nature.
Would you say this man appears to be slender? Is he a slender man?
He may be considered a slender man. However, he does have a face, and the face has the most obnoxious grin. And he appears almost ethereal in this place. And all you can see in the total blackness is him and each other. So, why have you asked for an audience? Anyone?
I really thought Cherry would be taking the lead on this. But, well, it appears that someone has circumvented one of your deals. And we figured you'd want to know about it.
Have they now?
Yes.
Which deal is this?
Figured you would know.
Well,
but we're referring
I've been imprisoned for so long.
Ah, right. Must be hard being under the thumb of the big guys, right? Cookie. You remember Cookie? You made a deal having to do with the death of adventuring?
Yes, the sea captain.
Yes. Well, as you can see, we're still out here adventuring, and his life has been taken. Yes.
Well, that is interesting.
Yeah, so we figured you'd want to right that situation, as, you know, kind of your word at stake.
So
Whatever that's worth.
the five of you have come all this way to ask me to resurrect the sea captain. Is that correct?
Ask you to, yeah, also just kind of see if you could.
Well, I was the god of death back then. I'm not anymore. It's really not my jurisdiction. But I think perhaps I could help you. But my knowledge is limited. This prison of mine, although it is more of a house arrest, restricts my ability to be up to date on the goings-on in the world. How is Lune, by the way?
Well, she's not in prison.
No, she's not. You should have seen how tore up Shar was about it, though. She came to me in confidence.
Mm-hmm.
How could my sister create places where I simply cannot exist? She was really brokenhearted. She was so upset when Mistra died.
The both of you killed her.
The legend is occasionally embellished. Truth is, she had no idea. But magic is something mortals shouldn't meddle with. It brings them too close.
That's interesting coming from you.
Well, once you reach the top, you tend to want to close the door behind you.
I'm sorry, once you reach the top, when do you suppose that'll happen for you?
Oh. I mean, even imprisoned for 1,000 years with no followers, I'm able to sustain myself. Having a cult following helps.
How's Clem?
Right. How is Clembo?
Oh, I don't know. He never visits. Probably still upset from the last time I killed him.
Yeah, shame how you lose those old friends.
I never had much need for those.
You thought you had a need for the Ring of Frost?
I have needs for many things, but they are fleeting. So,
you know, it strikes me strange that you consider yourself at the top, yet you're imprisoned by others. Your power came from someone else and continues to come from something else. How do you figure you're at the you don't know, do you?
power is available for those who wish to grasp it, and those who have the ability, intellect, and will to do so.
Grasp it from what? From whom?
From whomever is foolish enough to let it slip through their fingers.
And where did they get it?
Not my concern.
Not your concern. That doesn't surprise me at all. You don't. It's not in your playbook. It's not in your destiny. You don't have power to do anything. You don't get to make these decisions. You're a puppet of something else. Clearly.
You've truly unveiled me. But I'll tell you what, I can assist you. If one of you would simply step forward and commune with me directly, it would give me the knowledge of this world. Oh, good, a volunteer.
You're dead.
Really
And his spectral hands reach out to you, Radan.
Just a point of note with the hat of disguise, I look exactly like him.
Okay.
Of course.
He is unfazed.
I expected.
And he puts his hands out to you. He gains all the knowledge. And he sits back and he says, "Oh, well, that is interesting. So nice to get an idea of what's actually going on with the world. I've been locked up for so long. Now, to the business at hand. You have truly unveiled me, sir. I am locked away. I am powerless in this place, removed from 2 of the 3 thrones I once held. But these things have humbled me, and I've learned many lessons. I could help you, all of you. And from what I've seen, you will need my help. For whether it's finding an old friend or making sure your father doesn't try to cash in his infernal contract with your soul, or making sure that your people aren't wiped from the earth in a civil war, or finding out that your sister that you never knew you had is the person you have to kill to finish your prophecy. These are all things that I can assist with, but upmost and first and foremost, I would love to assist you with bringing back the sea captain, but as I've said, I am weakened. My power here is limited. But if you can find me 3 simple items, bring them back to this place, I can resurrect your sea captain for you.
Nope.
She doesn't speak for all of us.
It's just like a sea of shaking it.
Nope.
Typical. Okay. Right. Quite
I need the power of these items in order to do so.
sure. Yeah. What are these items?
Oh, simple things. A golden mace, a hand, and a mirror.
And what are you going to how are you going to use these to bring back?
I'll be able to draw
Yes.
the magic out of these items and utilize it for the resurrection. It will allow me to subvert the final scribe and Clemvor's hold,
Well,
and give me a fun little thrill in between.
if that's your plan, then really any combination of items of sufficient magical power should do, right? Doesn't need to be these exactly.
No, these particular items have the essence that I need.
Well, that's because there's something you're not telling us.
The essence that you need. All right, insight check.
Mind fuck.
Can I insight check the God of Lies?
You can try, sir.
You know,
DM words to drop.
Can you insight check a god?
because realistically, can I though? Hold on, I wasn't even signed into the. I got to launch the game. Hold on, here we go.
You could. You can play D&D as much.
You can
I
play
mean-
D&D as much as you want.
I don't think there's any.
Not even
point.
Puck is talking. God, stop.
It's not like my insight checks are that great, anyways. But let's go ahead and try it out. What is it even? No, that's horrible. It's absolutely horrid.
Yeah, that's not a good roll against a regular person. That's-
Sir, you're clearly there's obviously some other reason you need these specific items. You're gonna do something. Maybe you're gonna spring yourself. Maybe you're gonna kill somebody. Look, we don't even want to get involved in your little petty god bullshit. What is it that you plan to do with these things so that we can basically weigh it against whether the sea captain, as you call him, would want us to do this?
Well, I'm going to use them to subvert the will of 2 other gods.
I mean, okay. It's simple as that, and then I don't see the problem.
Are you fucking kidding?
How much, let me ask you this. How much contact do you have with your followers these days?
He doesn't have followers.
I just receive the energy. I don't really commune. Although I could tell you if any of the nasties coming to get you are marching to my tune, but really, you wouldn't believe me if I did.
Well, I know very well that they are.
Perhaps in method.
At least in lip service. Point is, shit's going way off the rails out there. I mean, the very power structures that you, in your own position, seek to subvert are being upheld by your followers out there.
It's really a matter of perspective.
Yeah, well, I'm just letting you know. And they happen to be a problem of ours. Okay, so I signed a contract with the Zents there. And there was this
I saw that in your friend's head. You look exactly like
Right.
the kind of person who would do that.
Right, exactly. You're not wrong. So, question, who reinforces those contracts? Is it you?
You flatter me.
No, of course
No.
it's not. So
Not
who
quite.
does?
Let's say the most devoted followers ensure that the agreements are kept.
So you're telling me it's just people?
Of sorts. Everyone's a person at some point or another.
At some point or another, perhaps in the past, but I beg to differ.
So what 2 gods? What 2 gods?
Oh, Clemvor and the final scribe.
Of course. As your talkative friend had said.
Yeah.
Why does it matter what gods? What they do is their own issues.
Right.
What they do affects all of us.
Here's what I want to understand. Who holds you to your deals? Like, does the fact that you were unable to follow through with the deal you made with the sea captain, is there really any consequence to that?
There would be, but there's an ever-changing structure to things. I would certainly love to uphold it, but in my weakened state, I require the assistance of others.
So you were the only one that was ever upholding that. There's no.
Yes, I
nothing
was.
reinforcing it?
I was the god of the dead at the time, although Clemvor was quite upset that I murdered him.
So I mean, essentially, there's no point in making any sort of deal with you because there's
No, we should
nothing to hold you accountable.
talk to Clemvor.
We should really be talking to Clemvor about this.
Oh, you're welcome to try, although he's quite immovable.
We've done relatively impossible things before. I mean, yeah, honestly, I was coming here ready to make a deal with you, but I don't see the point anymore. But kind of let down. You're very hyped out there, you know?
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
He's not hyped. He's a piece of trash.
I'm just saying, they talk about like, oh yeah, watch out for the Prince of Lies and his followers, but it's just like it's just a bunch of schmucks running around chasing their own tails. Kind of disappointed.
That sounds like the follower of all gods to me.
Yeah.
All he did, I mean, he killed Lyra, but
All right. Well, look, do you want to get this guy his trinkets and see if he follows through, or should we just say fuck it and try to get in touch with somebody who can actually do anything?
here's the problem. he's not gonna just do that. He probably doesn't need anything of that to do what he's telling us to do, that we need him to do. He's going to take those items. He's going to try to use it somehow to get himself out of his fucking prison that he earned himself into.
Obviously.
Cleric of Selune, you surprise me. Surely you should know of all people that I am shackled to this dead realm, this empty place, for my misgivings.
Okay.
You of all people must know that I would require additional power. If you are as studied and learned as you say, you would know that I was dethroned from the throne of death.
Yeah, because you killed Mistral.
You would require additional power, and you're asking us to go find you additional power. Like, this is what we're saying.
Yes.
Yes. So like, we're not really interested in doing you these favors. It doesn't seem that we really have.
Well, she suggests that perhaps I could just do it now, but I'm clearly in such a pathetic and weakened state.
You would never. No, you are so egotistical. You would never actually call yourself pathetic. You don't believe you're pathetic at all.
No, he's trying to provoke you to attack him. Don't fall into it. I mean,
Perhaps we should go discuss outside.
are we wasting our time here? Captain Borden, you've been awfully quiet. Are we wasting our time here?
Black Jerry says, I can provide you another bargain. And he turns to Black Cherry and says, oh no, Pirate Queen. I know what you're beholden to, and there's not a deity in the realms that would touch that hot mess. These four are far more interesting.
What?
Interesting.
Right?
I have no trouble with this. We're going to make a bargain with someone. Might as well do it now.
I don't. Jovetta looked at her. She looked at her dad. She's like, "Who are you?"
It's clearly the smartest out of all of you. Perhaps after this is done, I can give you advice on how to save your tribe.
If you want to bargain, then let's bargain a bit. Let's sweeten the pot.
Oh, of course. Ah, now that's the real Kashado coming through.
As you know, we each have things we need and want. So, going off down the list. Lilith's infernal contract. Can you have it canceled?
He already outed.
That look.
No.
Well, it's not necessarily her infernal contract, rather that of her father's, but I could put in a good word.
I don't know. Is that good enough for you?
Stop the transfer of such a thing. You might want to look out for your sister, Miss Singer. If they can't get you, somebody has to pay. And it's definitely not going to be Daddy.
You have parents and a sister? What the fuck?
You know him well enough to know that he would never truly sacrifice himself for anything, not even his own power.
When to leave?
Redan? What's your request?
I have no request. My tribe will live or they'll die. We're here for Cookie. I think we make the deal.
I don't think we should be so hasty to make a deal. Not with someone so...
Something that could potentially release the Prince of Lies back into... No.
We came here understanding there was going to be difficulties with this deal. We knew who we were making the deal with.
We are not to make worse deals, make the world worse.
How will it make the world worse having this god released?
This evil
Have you
god.
listening to him?
Evil.
Have you listened to anything he said?
I have, and
I can't change who I was in the past. But my sentence has given me clarity.
Were you ever a good
Clarity on
person
how to
before you
calm
became a
me.
god of some sort?
Such
You were a
things are
human one.
subjective.
Well,
I
Jabetta,
agree. Morality is subjective. He is a good god, he is an evil god. It depends who follows him. I came here understanding we would make a deal that would
No.
probably release
The
him.
ones who follow him are the ones we were trying to defeat.
He's evil.
We are not going to help the enemy in any way.
Then are you able to resign the fact that Cookie is gone? Those are our options
There might be other options.
within the next 27 days.
Best we figure something out.
That's the other thing. Time is
25
ticking.
days.
I will not be a part of something that will make the world worse.
You wound me, Miss Singer. Could the world not be made better with your friend back in it?
What friend? Oh,
The sea captain.
sea captain. I mean, you are too powerful, and you've been in prison for a reason.
I am but a weak shell of the being that once ruled these lands.
And there you go with your lies, filling your title as the god of lies. Can't trust a word you say. I think we need to reconsider other options.
I mean, look, if he can solve our problems,
And it calls a whole lot more.
That may go beyond what we can do to help it.
How is that different than any other deal we will make with anyone else?
We could probably find better deals.
Clearly only half of you can talk sense.
Kashano, no bullshit. What do you think? There's no deceiving this god. Does it really matter if we release him or if he's released in 1,000 more years? It will happen.
652.
does it really matter if we bring Cookie back? If we're talking macro good to the world? Are we talking about what's best for the world, or are we talking about what we want? We're the ones here. We're the ones standing here. We're the ones with choices to make. Him, he doesn't get to make choices. He can play games, but ultimately, he's bound. We have options. So if we're going to try to make what's best for the world, we can run in circles for the rest of our lives, however long they each may be.
It may not be best, but let's not make it worst.
How is it worse? What's he going to do? Replace the current god of death?
Jabetta, you know plenty about this god. You think he can make it worse? Once he's outside of prison or whatever? I don't know what we're going to do with this one.
Here's the thing.
You
He
know
gets those items. He brings Cookie back. There's no guarantee that those 3 items that he requested don't give him more power than what he needs to bring Cookie back, and that he uses the rest of that power.
I mean, that's a logical assumption. The question is,
And he's probably just going to try to kill Klimbor again.
right,
And how is that our problem?
exactly.
Are we here? What it comes down to is Cookie's life worth more than letting him out? If yes, then we walk away and we
What?
get rid of this fight in whatever way possible.
what
Are
if
we
you got
here for the
contact with
academy?
Selene?
Are we here for the academy, or are we trying to make decisions of what's best for the Pantheon?
Exactly.
Asking the real questions here.
Jabetta, do you think we can get wisdom from your god? We don't have to make a decision today, I believe. We already made a rash decision before listening to Owen Stone and ended up helping the enemy without realizing it.
By all means, listen to what Salune has to say. She certainly has good judgment when she ostracized her sister and drove her mad.
Leave details out all you want. I know the story. They may not, but I do.
You know the stories you were told. I was there. I dried the tears from Char's eyes as she cried that her only sister created a world that she could not live in.
The god of lies speak more lies, I
Why,
bet.
she said, why would she do this to me? Why would she push me away? I thought we were going to be together for an eternity. There, Char. I gave her a plan. It's what I do. I'm a helper.
Yeah, okay.
My answer is no.
I stand with Kashano. Whatever you choose, I stand with.
Captain Borden, what's your vote?
This is one way. I do not like it, but this is currently the only option we have to get my husband back.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, one more time.
Lola.
This is one way. I do not like it, but it is currently the only option we have to get my husband back.
Is it though?
We can try other things.
We know where he is and located.
We can try other options. If we need to. Well,
Right.
I can see that you all have a lot to think about. There's more to unpack here than I ever could have thought. It's the most excitement I've had in hundreds of years. At the bottom of Dragon Lake, hidden beneath a glacier in the spine of the world, and lastly, in a temple in the desert. That's where you will find these things. Bring them to me or don't. Time is something I've got lots of, as none of you do. I offer my assistance. Do with it what you will.
Lilith's gonna go and turn heels, walk out.
Gilberto follows.
Ooh. Do you think I upset them? I have trouble with the social skills.
What do you have the power to give in your
What
current
do you-
state?
In my current state, nothing.
Well, then it's kind of hard to make an equitable deal with you.
What
When
deal?
You can't
If you
offer
want
this.
somebody to make you a cake, but they don't have ingredients, you bring them the ingredients to make your cake.
Right. So I would need to know that we were giving you sufficient power to pull off the deal. You could try being honest and letting us know what happens when you receive these items.
And then I use the items to resurrect your friend.
And that's it.
That's it.
Just a fun little distraction from your eternal boredom.
Oh,
That's all you're looking for.
And I hope my jailers do see my goodwill, and perhaps they'll shave a couple 100 years off my sentence. They're into this kind of thing, really pragmatic folks.
Yeah, okay, let's just cut the shit. You made Cookie a pretty sweet deal back in that day.
Did I?
I'd be interested in a similar one, but it doesn't seem that you can grant it these days, so I see no point in having any further discussion.
Oh. So there's something else that you want.
I am also interested in a situation.
You know very well what I want.
I am, however,
I wear it on my sleeve.
Well, then, say perhaps those items gave me the power to do that as well.
Will they?
I could probably pierce the veil of limbo for but a moment to confer a portion of this on you, if I had a willing participant.
Always another piece, isn't there? All right, well, good to know. See how much of this we can verify. But it seems for the moment, no decisions being made.
Very well. I will return to my prison then.
All right, have fun.
I do hope you find him, though.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that'll be irrelevant either way.
Well, I still hope you find him.
It's cute. All right. See you later. I'm going to turn and go.
Goodbye, Mr. the Quick. I'll see
Odd
you
way to
again
phrase
soon.
it, but okay.
I'm hanging back, trying to see if I can just hold up. I can get a word with him alone.
All right. Kshana leaves, and you are there left with him, Redan.
Oof. I mean, I definitely would have hesitated when I saw he wasn't following me. And actually, before I left, I would have just said, "Van, the option's still open. No decision's been made yet. Just try not to make decisions on behalf of others."
I will not.
And then I'll step out.
Sirak,
Yes, Redan.
are the living always so short-sighted?
Oh, they frequently are.
Nothing we do matters. So helping you now, helping you later, in my opinion, it doesn't matter. You'll be free eventually.
You are clearly the cleverest of them all.
I would disagree with that.
Well, not me. You're the only one who's thinking straight. Perhaps you need to bring everyone else around to your way of thinking.
They will think how they'll think. I can't see me changing anyone's opinions. Kashano is more fluid than the others.
Maybe you can get him to fall in line.
We will see.
Well, you have the information you need now.
I would ask a similar favor as to Kashano.
Of course.
However, if it happens, it happens. I require no immediate, what's the word? No commitment. It'll happen, it won't. As with Cookie, as with anything else in this world.
You know what you want and you require no assurances. I admire that about you. Go. See if you can get your friends to see sense. I'll be here.
Is there a way to communicate with you as we travel?
No, there isn't. As I am trapped with this prison, I'm very difficult to get a hold of.
Do you hear the prayers of those who follow you?
No, I just feel the power from it. It sustains me.
You are the first being I have spoken to that makes sense to me. I will consider your words.
Ah, that's good.
And I walk out.
You emerge from this cave and you are all back in the jungle. As the damp heat hangs in the air and it is evening.
Oh, my blood is boiling.
I'm also very upset.
I'm gonna take a deep breath. Not gonna look at anyone. All right, we need to find out how to reach Clembor, and I'm gonna start walking back.
What time is
Oh,
it?
as when Gilberta walked out, she already started walking. Like she never stopped.
It is.
Oh. Lilith would
Late.
try to stop you if you did that.
It is in the
Good
evening.
fucking luck.
I can try.
Are you all heading back to the ship?
Yeah.
Is Black Cherry heading back to the ship?
She is.
Then yes.
She is quite silent.
Want to go to Black Cherry and tell her, reassure her. Just, I promise, Penny. We'll figure something out. It's about the best I can do.
She says, we will figure something out. And I'm sorry I couldn't be more help in there. Every time I think it doesn't matter, he shows up again. But I will tell you more later. For now, it's time to rest. We need to get back to the ship. Is anyone not going back to the ship?
How long? What is it like? Is it like daytime when we get back into
No,
town?
it is late at night.
Okay.
We need to be fucking careful.
Yeah, I'm not wandering into the jungle alone at night.
Yeah.
Me and Gilberto would probably like try to see volunteer. I'll try to see ahead just to make sure, since night vision and whatnot. I don't know. How dark is it? Is it like, does it matter?
It's like late at night. It's after midnight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Go.
Actually, and I think once we get back, I am gonna hit the town.
You gonna hit the town?
I'm gonna find a bar near the docks.
All right, it's fairly easy to find. You managed to find one. There's a bunch of merchant traders and things drinking inside.
I'm sticking with Kushano.
All right.
Lilith is gonna ask Black Cherry for practice. Coco. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. She
She's upset too.
she definitely goes to practice with you.
Yeah, vent.
She is practicing with you. You notice a portion of it. Her heart really isn't in it.
Oh. Then I'll go grab a bottle of wine instead and be like, let's, I guess, call it a night and have some drinks then.
She's like, all right, I want to tell you a story about a little girl, Menzel Berenzan, who was in line to become a priest of Lolith. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Redan and Kushano, you guys are at the bar. What's going on?
Well, on the way to the bar, I am gonna ask. So, if you care to share what you discussed, I'd be very interested in hearing it.
I said I was interested in a similar bargain as you, but I don't need assurances. I asked if there was a way to contact him, and I asked if the living are always so short-sighted and emotional.
Yeah, mostly we are.
Do you want to be alone right now?
Are you not one of the living, Redan?
I breathe. My
That's not what I
heart.
meant.
in my experience, I don't see the world like others.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be alone. If you don't mind.
All right. So I walk back to the ship and see if I can find Gilbetta.
All right. What is Gilbetta up to?
Gilbetta's in the ocean,
Gilbetta's in the ocean. What is she doing in the ocean?
swimming as far away as she can.
Oh,
That's how Jabetta died from a sea monster.
all right. You are swimming out to the open sea.
Yep.
What is your intent with this?
That's you assume that I have one.
Okay, you're just like being in the water makes me feel better, so that's where I'm gonna go.
Because it's the moon is out, and I can't. All my Selene stuff is hidden when I'm in the city. So pretty much just gonna swim out into the ocean, see if I can get far enough that I can see my emblems.
All right. So you head out to sea and you can get pretty far out there and you can see Salune's light pouring down on you. And you just kind of float out there in the moonlight, the light and the moon and the stars.
Yeah, pretty much just praying. Just talking to Salune about the bullshit that just went down.
Salune, when you try to commune with her,
Let the midnight spin.
says, "My child, I did not mean to push my sister away. But what happened was her decision.
Jabetta says, "Oh, I know. I have never doubted that."
Then what troubles you?"
I don't think making a deal with him is the right choice. I know he's not telling the truth about what he can do with those items. I know he can do more than what he says that he's going to do with them.
Sirak is dangerous.
I know.
You know this.
That's why I don't think that we should do this.
And what will you do?
But I don't know if there's another way.
Do you believe in your ability to find a way?
I believe in my ability to damn sure try.
Well, perhaps that's enough.
I don't. It's because he's not even the god of the dead anymore. Clemvor is.
Yes. He was unseated from that when Clemvor, with the aid of Mask, took the throne of the dead back.
And he has. Listen, Sirak has no allies in the gods.
He does not.
So, Kalimvor is much more amiable than Sirak ever was or will be. And I think that we might be able to get Clemvor to help us.
Little sea elf, there are rules. Rules that cannot be broken by those who govern them. You may try.
At the very least, Clemvor might be able to give us another path to go on.
Perhaps.
But I don't. If they decide to help Sirak, I will take no part of it.
That is a wise decision.
I don't want I don't want whatever information he has to give me about the prophecy. If you have selected me for some prophecy, I'll figure it out. I don't want it from Sirak. It's not
Okay,
worth it.
Fine, whatever. Stay true to the moonlight, priestess.
I can't do that if I help him, and I won't help him.
And let it continue to guide you.
I'm just gonna race dinosaurs forever.
And the voice fades away from you as you just kind of float out there now. Anybody else doing anything at the bar? Redan, you can't find Jolbetta. She is way out to sea.
Then I would like to hit up the mirror for 4 quick things.
Sure.
Oh my God.
The mirror.
On Philip.
I was actually thinking about that today, that you guys forgot about Phil. Again, last session. All right. So you check up on Philip. And you see Philip helping you guys at the vault. You see him coming back to the keep with you guys. You see everybody getting off the cart at the keep. Philip looking in a direction and then walking off. Almost like he saw something and he was going to check on something.
What direction?
It was to the east of the Crab Shack.
And that's it.
That's it.
And then just looking into Dragon Lake, the glacier in the spine of the world, and the temple in the desert.
Nothing.
Okay, as expected. Redan's just gonna read until he falls asleep. Keep reading that history of the warlords of the Sword Coast.
All right.
All right, at the bar. I'm going to definitely going to go into a bar that has music playing, and at the break, gonna buy the band a round of drinks. Try to pick out who is the most bardiest bard, who seems like they're the highest level bard. And just strike up a little conversation. Hey, oh, you guys are great. Let me buy you around here. Question, if you don't mind, what do you know about the Carnival of Opportunity?
They'll kind of look at each other and shrug. The bards that you were able to find, they're not. They're novices to you. This is like the garage band of bards.
Where's where in this town do the more seasoned bards congregate?
They don't stay in town very often. Most people just pass through this place. If you're not a merchant, there's really no reason to stick around. It's a pretty deadly place to live in.
Yeah. Whole world's kind of a deadly place to live in these days, if you ask me. Great show tonight, and I'll toss, 5 gold into their tip bin.
They're like, wow, thanks a lot.
If you ever find yourself around the Desserin Valley, stop in at the Avalon Knights Academy.
Maybe we'll check it out.
Might be a thing or two for you to learn there. If it's still standing, am I right? And we'll walk away and just kind of find a quiet table in the corner and just stare into my drink and think.
All right.
And then, supposing the next couple drinks are uneventful, I'll probably have like 2 and head back to the ship.
All right. On the second drink, you lift up the mug, and underneath, there is a note that says Primo Paso.
I'm gonna look around. Did I notice anyone come by the table?
No.
Did someone bring me this drink, or did I retrieve it from the bar?
Well, you're 2 drinks in at this point. Why don't you give me a perception or investigation check? Ho ho.
Yeah.
You've had the same waitress all night. She's been bringing you drinks.
She's still here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna find her.
You find her. Oh, did you want something else? I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand up.
Did you set down anything under my drink?
No.
I'll show her the note. Like, you didn't put this under the glass?
No, was that?
It was under the glass.
That was under your mug?
Yeah, the last one you brought me.
Weird.
Yeah, I'll say I want to insight check this lady.
Sure. She seems genuinely dumbfounded that this has happened. She's like, it's spooky. Does this happen to you a lot?
When you drop off a drink, do you usually put a Costa, a napkin, or anything under it, or you just set the drink down?
I usually just set the drink down. We're not fancy here.
Yeah, that seems strange. I'm gonna look over at the who's pouring the drinks at the bar.
There are 2 different bartenders pouring drinks. You notice that when the waitresses come up to the bar, they'll set down a tray, process some payments, and then collect a full tray and go back.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go up to the bar and gonna just say, "Excuse me, could I have a word with one of you?"
Sure. What do you need, buddy?
Any chance you stuck a note to the bottom of the drink?
Sorry, pal, you're not my type.
Inside
Might have
check.
been the other guy, though. You feel like you're genuinely not his type.
All right. Thanks. I'll pay up my tab and
Okay.
walk out. I'm not finishing that drink.
Okay.
Pay up my tab and I'll walk out, and I'm gonna find on the way back like an alley or some sort of kind of dark spot to casually walk into and stand there not too far from the street.
Okay.
I'm trying to, and I'm getting perceptive as hell, and I'm trying to see if anyone's following me.
Okay. Give me that perception check. You catch an image out of this corner of your eye of a shadowy figure darting across a rooftop.
I'm climbing up after it.
You're climbing up after it?
Hells yeah. Got my
All right.
shoes of spider climb. I am getting a better look at very least.
Give me an athletics check with advantage.
Alrighty. Where's my athletics? Oof. Yes.
Oh, that's solid. That's solid. All right. So you head out there and you are able to see, in fact, 2 figures moving across rooftops until they reach a warehouse near the docks. They leap off the roof of the warehouse onto the rigging of a passing ship as it slowly floats out of the harbor.
I'm running after him the whole time, and I'm trying to either get some better look at the outline of the people or the name of the ship, preferably.
All right. You're not able to fully catch up to them. You can't quite get the name of the ship. It's just some kind of merchant vessel. You can tell by the flagging of the ship and the rigging that it's headed back to the main Sword Coast area, either Boulder's Gate or Waterdeep. And you see the two figures on the rigging reflected in the moonlight. Both have cat ears.
Yeah. Fuck, I wish Joe Betta was around. Okay. All right, I'm going to go back onto the ship and see if Captain Borden is still awake.
As you
ask.
start to walk off the roof of this warehouse, you hear a thunk.
Behind
and
me?
This
Turn and draw.
small bolt is embedded in the roof behind you. And it has a piece of paper wrapped around it.
I'm going to look up at the direction it would have came from.
It came from the direction of that ship.
It probably shouldn't be. Okay. I'll sheathe my sword and go look at the note.
Don't trust the clown.
All right. Okay. I'm going to take another look at the Primo Paso note, see if do I recognize the handwriting or anything?
Yes, you do. They're the same as the second note that you got.
Do I recognize them other than that?
It looks similar to your sister's.
Okay. I'm going to use prestidigitation to light both the notes on fire.
Okay.
Destroy them. Just so I'm not leaving shit behind, you know.
Right.
And then I'll make my way back to the ship.
All right. While this is going on the ship, Black Cherry is drinking wine with you, Lilith. She says, there was a little girl, Menzel Beranzan. She was in line to become a priestess of Lilith. And when she saw the first person turned into a drider ahead of her, she was overcome with fear. She begged and pleaded, asked anything that would listen to save her from this fate. And then something did. And she was freed. And she made it to the surface and lived a long and interesting life, not knowing what would come for her and hoping that it never would. And each day, I live in fear of what will come to collect the price that I paid out of that subterranean hell.
I'll be honest, I caught just a little bit of that because the volume got a little low again.
Oh, sorry. Oh, my goodness.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. So which parts did you catch?
Basically that she was afraid and then something she
Okay.
left.
So she says, I was a little girl. I was trapped. I was in Menzel Berazan. I was in line to become a Drider, spider priest of Lilith. And when I saw the transformation process, saw the women in front of me and what became of them, I became afraid. And I cried and I begged and I cried out to anything that would listen to save me from this fate. And something did. I don't know what it was. I don't know where it came from. But I got out of that place. I lived a long and interesting life. And whenever I'm reminded, I live in fear, so one day that it will come to collect the price that was paid. To free me from that subterranean hellhole, that cruel fate.
You think there was a price for you to leave?
There has to be. Sirak is the Prince of Lies, but what he said shook me.
He said it was complicated for you. Didn't want to touch your mess, apparently.
What if I'm indebted into something that even the most cruel gods fear? What matter of being would that be? Can you imagine?
Somewhat. It appears we have a little bit more in common than I thought. Contracts, getting out of things.
Then let us drink till we forget about it. She chugs some more wine.
Oh, cheers. How long ago was this?
A few hundred years.
Oh, wow.
Drow are long-lived.
Mm. I wasn't sure what to say or do when I was in front of Sirak. Until he brought that up.
So what he does, tries to get in your head, mess with you with all the parts that are weak, all the sore spots.
He's known to be the Prince of Lies, or the God of Lies, or whatever, but somewhere deep down, I think what he told me was true.
Every good lie has a grain of truth in it.
Hey, I'm not sure what. I thought I got away from this mess.
Our pasts have a way of catching up to us sometimes. We just have to hope that we're strong enough to deal with them when they come.
I may have to face it sooner than keep running. Because it's not just my life at stake. I'm putting someone else's life at stake. Again.
So what are we going to do about it?
Lilith drinks a little bit.
Yes, that was my idea as well.
I guess stick with plan A. I haven't thought about plan B. And you continue to train me?
I will do so. And as we reach that point, Kashana, you show up at the ship, and Black Cherry is in her quarters with Lilith, drinking. Come in.
Sorry to disturb you.
Kashana.
Captain Borden, what is the next stop on this excursion, according to your plans?
We can go to a number of different places.
I'd like to request Primo Paso.
That is on the list.
What?
We can go there next.
Thank you.
Kashana, what happened?
Had a few drinks, made a few friends. Have a good night, ladies.
I turn to Black Cherry and I'm like, something will happen. Something happened. Seems.
Of
I'm
course.
going down to the cargo hold for
And-
night practice.
All right.
It's my night.
Of course something happened. We talked to the father of lies. The prince of lies. This is what he does. He breaks things apart. He makes people turn against each other. Makes people kill themselves and each other, their best friends, their family. He doesn't have allies. And he makes sure that everyone else doesn't either. That is his whole thing.
Black Cherry, for as long as you have lived, do you know of a place where we could learn more about gods that deal with death and resurrection? There must be some archive place.
As luck would have it, where Kashano just requested. Cookie told me about this place. I met him there briefly. Primo Paso is a port town for a larger continent. This continent was once besieged by a kind of dark lord. He had dominion over the living and the dead, lived in a giant citadel, and long after his passing, the land around him refused to grow, to the point that a wall had to be erected around it to contain the corruption. But in that place, there was an extensive library on the subject. If there is knowledge about deities of death, it would be a good place to look.
When do you think we'll head out?
In the morning. I think we all need time. And your elf friend has disappeared into the sea for a while.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I live here now.
That is officially your quote.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Something you don't need to worry about.
Yep. Don't worry about it. I'm just talking to Salune, no big deal.
Yeah. I guess I'll ask Black Cherry. So, tell me about the best of times. So far, we've got nothing but bad news. Hard to think, right? And we feel so down.
Yes, that's not a bad idea. And she spends the rest of the night telling you stories of her adventures and all these fun places that she's gone and all these interesting things.
Cheers
A lot
to
of
that.
really cool stories about things that her and Cookie did. All PG.
I'll probably talk about I want to be so how did you get the crew? Just all that little adventure stuff. Just kind of curious.
Oh yeah,
So that's
long stories about everything.
Yeah. Cool.
Now, Jabetta, how long do you stay out at sea?
Forever. No. Well, once I swam out and kind of I had that little chat with Selene. I would probably, after that, I'd probably stay out there for a little bit and then come back. Try to get back around maybe 3 or 4 in the morning. That way I can get my trance in and be up early.
No, for sure.
Because I need to, first goal in the morning is to try to see if I can't get Bowling Ball and Snappy shipped back to the keep.
All right.
So that we have room just in case we come across any other big stuff we need to get.
Before you leave,
Mm-hmm.
before you start to head out, Selune comes to you again. I have a difficult task for you, Moon Priestess.
Sorry, you have no room for this quest.
The quest log is full. The quest log is full. Please turn left. Please make a U-turn. Make a U-turn. No, I'll say, okay, what? Can't really, so.
If you can make amends with your sister, there may be a way for you to use the items requested to eliminate Sirak from this world forever.
I'm in. Sold. I sent her a letter, so there's that.
Excellent.
I
can see that perhaps she will be communing with you soon. But once you have the items, pray to me again, and I will tell you what you need to do.
Girl, I pray to you all the time.
Of course, of course.
But I've been feeling a little distant, but I don't want to break Uptal's laws, so.
Understandably, we must uphold the pact.
Mm-hmm. Uptal's a good guy, so I'm fine with it. Yeah. Do you think there's a way to do that and bring Cookie back?
I don't know. But I will attempt to commune with Clemvor and see if he can offer any guidance.
Great. That was rough. I'll be honest. That was rough.
Stay strong.
I just wanted to kill him.
Stay strong, and you will get the power to do so.
Yes. And Gilberto will do flips in the water. like yes.
Yeah, murder. I'm gonna do murder loops all the way up.
But it's murdering evil, so she's fine with it.
Yeah, no, this is what justice looks like.
Revenge. I will have.
Just the look on Kashano's face right now. He's just like,
Revenge for Mistral.
Revenge for Mistral.
You will be avenged.
Absolutely.
So I guess just a general knowledge question, another DM question. When a cleric speaks to their god, how certain can they always be that it's their god speaking to them?
I knew you were going to be the one.
Just out of curiosity, just so I know how the world works.
They generally know what their god sounds like.
Yeah, because mimicking a voice is real hard. There's a spell for that. I think it's a 4th level spell. No, it's not even that high.
Shano doesn't know this.
I don't know about any of this. I was just asking.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Out of left field, something that I thought of for a different reason. Was all. I'm thinking about maybe becoming a cleric or something.
No, it's something like that.
I
right.
really thought he was going to say he was thinking of becoming a god. That's right. Honestly,
Apparently, anybody could do it. People handing out godhoods like lollipops.
I mean, it's definitely, always on the table should the opportunity arise.
I just thought that was what you were going to say in that moment. And I was shocked when you said a cleric. Like, what?
Oh,
I feel
man.
like you just know. I feel like it's, I mean.
Is that break time, Sean?
It is coming up on break time. So you guys sleep, and the next morning we're gonna do break. We're after the break. I'll let you know.
I'm gonna swim back and trance it up.
All right.
Wait, she's eaten by a great white shark. It's the end of your life.
Hey, if I find a shark
or
along
that
the
dragon
way,
turtle. We'll see what happens.
if I find a shark along the way, I'll fucking fight that bitch.
Right in its little shark face. All right. We'll see y'all after the break. Oh, big shout out to Daddy Warbucks for hosting that charity event we took part in, where I won in a raffle.
Woo!
A thing.
It smells so good. It's made of cedar. One of these beautiful hex chests from Elderwood Academy. Got the Cthulhu one.
Lovely.
I've just been sniffing it for 2 days since the show.
Maybe don't do that.
Thank you to Daddy Warbucks. And if it smells like cedar, it's delicious.
Okay, I think. Well, is there lacquering? Like, is there?
No, I think they just do an oil rub.
Oh,
based
okay.
on the texture. It's real high quality shit. It looks like they use a laser scriber and rub them down with oil. There's love in these. There's love in
Okay.
these boxes.
Well,
And there's also love
that
over on
love.
Daddy Warbucks channel. So
Yep.
make sure you give Daddy Warbucks a follow if you haven't yet.
All right. So we'll be back in a little bit. Come see how this turns out.
Right.
God damn it!
Do you guys go shopping some more, or just party out?
I drunkenly wander into some shops.
You find that drunkenly wandering into shops at night asking for less than reputable items, such as things using to disguise your face and that kind of thing, doesn't get you very far.
No. Security thing.
Lilith would do that thing where she's just like hovering over and be like, yeah, what? Give the man what he needs.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Don't you know who I am?
Let's do this tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow. It'll be fine.
Her dad comes up, picks one up under each arm. Like, I'm sorry for this.
Woo, this is fun.
Everyone makes it back to the estate except for Zabel. Gilberta, do you go back to the guest house to sleep, or do you spend the night in the?
Gilberta's staying in the temple.
All right.
Did she take a
So-
stone with her?
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
Kishano had one and I had one.
Yeah.
So as he's being carried, Kishano's gonna be like, Betty, what's going on? Where are you?
Nope. It must go off in Rodan's pocket because Gilberta
Just
doesn't
goes-
have it.
you hear an echo.
Betty!
Bernie!
Hello, my name's Kevin, this is Dirty 20 Gaming, and this video is about multiclassing. It took me a while to get around to doing this video because I have an irrational dislike of multiclassing. I almost never do it, and when I do, it usually doesn't feel right. So I had to get over myself, give myself a little talking to, and then apply some reasonable thought to this before I made this video. So, I'm sure it will come as no surprise to anyone that's seen any of these other videos in this series that I think if you're going to multiclass, it should be driven by your story arc or by the narrative of the tale that you're telling, and sometimes by the game mechanics themselves. I will explain. First of all, reasons to multiclass, reasons to do it. This is not by any stretch of the imagination an exhaustive list. Please share if you have others. But just as a few examples, first we're going to do some story reasons for multiclassing, and then we're going to do some game mechanic reasons. So story reasons first. Probably the most extreme case would be if you're going to do the story arc finding a new way. If you remember from previous videos, in this one, your character gets to sort of level 2 or 3 and then says, no, I can't do this. I can't be a druid anymore, or I can't be a paladin anymore. I need to change. And so they give up everything about that previous life and start all over as a level 1 character in a new class. So obviously, if you're going to multi-class like that, you only take a couple levels in the first class, and then you never upgrade them again. And if you want to play that character really seriously, you probably never use those skills again because you've given up that life. That is an extreme case. A slightly less extreme case would be in character development. You're playing a militant cleric, and one day he just loses it and picks up a mace and a shield, puts on heavy armor, and steps out the door of the church and just starts making mayhem on the unbelievers. So take a couple levels of paladin in this while he works through this process. At some point, he's probably going to figure out that he's gone too far and he needs to make amends, which is a good time to switch back and start taking levels of cleric again. And you can bounce back and forth when the story makes sense from paladin to cleric, cleric to paladin, and continue to tell that story until, hopefully, that character figures out a way to balance those two sides of who they are. There's also the inevitable multi-class. For example, your backstory is that you were an urchin who made your way by stealing until one day, to escape that life, you joined the army. So pretty much by definition, you're a rogue fighter. Now it's up to you at this point whether you want to do the Finding a New Way story arc, in which case you completely deny all of those roguish skills, whether you want to work them together and sort of use those roguish skills to make you a better fighter, or if at some point in the future you want this character to embrace their inner rogue and start taking levels of rogue again after having been a fighter for a number of levels. Those are all legitimate. They all make sense to me. There's also the realism argument. This is a little different. This is the argument that few people in the world are specialists. Most people have more than one set of skills. So to represent that in your character, you multi-class. And I'm perfectly okay with that too. Now there's game mechanic reasons for doing this. One of them is to explore a blend. Part of my process in making this video was to create a multi-class character that I actually liked. And I came up with a monklock, for lack of a better phrase. This is a Pact of the Blade warlock monk combination. I built them out to level 6 just to see what was happening, and he's turning into an absolute killing machine. But I alternated levels. I did 1 level of monk, 1 level of warlock, 1 level of monk, 1 level of warlock. It's definitely not the optimal way to level up, but if that's what you want to explore, is this blend between the two, then, you know, commit and explore it, right? And make your character better later. Now there's another case here, the utility character. And this is where the line starts to get hazy and fuzzy for me. Because building a character designed to explore what it's like to be pretty good at a lot of things seems reasonable to me. But building a character whose purpose is to make sure that the party is well-rounded and doesn't have any glaring weaknesses makes me start to head off into the corner and mutter things like, stop trying to win D&D. So having said all of this and thought about it for a bit, I think the conclusion I've come to is that I'm only against multi-classing when it's used to maximize character effectiveness rather than to reflect character development. So in other words, taking 2 levels of fighter just for second wind and action surge, or taking 2 levels of rogue just for sneak attack and cunning action. I also don't like it when it's used to cover gaps. In other words, when it's used to make the party stronger instead of making a more realistic or interesting character. So I guess what I'm saying, my point is that, in my opinion, you should always have a good narrative reason, not only to multi-class in the first place, but also you should also have reasons for which classes you're choosing and what class you level up at what time. So that's the end of the rant on this. Thanks for listening, and until next time, as always, game creatively. Bye.
Hi everybody, in this video we'll be reviewing Viral by Arcane Wonders.
We picked up Viral at Gen Con 2018, and we've been enjoying playing it over the last almost a year.
Yeah, I really like it. First of all, it's adorable. Look at that little fella. It's just so adorable while it's shutting down your organs and making you die and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. It really is. The artwork is fantastic, from all of the cards to the organs themselves, the body on the board game. The art is something that we usually talk about, and definitely in this one. It looks great on the bookshelf, and it's kind of one of those games that seeing it while we're walking around the merch hall, it jumped out to really want to pick up.
It's very distinctive, and I also like that the artwork makes it easy to see which are your pieces and which are your opponent's pieces. So it's a area control game, and you are playing as viruses invading a body.
It's really neat, and the first time you play it, it might seem a little bit difficult. Mm-hmm. It might seem like it's really complicated, but once you start playing, it's not. The game really is pretty intuitive as far as what are you doing, what are the orders.
It's printed on the game. They've got like cheat sheet symbols on the board itself to kind of help remind you what phase you're in and what happens next.
So it's a quick game to play. It's an easy game to play, and I really enjoy it.
I particularly like that the mechanics of the game fit really well in with essentially the story that the game is creating. There's at one point that you have each round, there's a different card that's drawn that adds kind of a complication. It might be kind of a symptom, it might be a doctor, there's all sorts of different things, and those all affect how things play out that round. But they also make perfect sense when you think about like, oh yeah, the diarrhea card flushes everything in the intestines.
Yeah. Yes, that's kind of fun. This game you can play 2-player. Now, I know that we've talked about some 2-player games, and a number of you brought up the fact that there are games that are out there that aren't really 2-player. It's that when you have 2 people, someone has to play a dummy character. And that is how this game works. So maybe it's not a true 2-player game, but the dummy character really is just that. You can't use... so if Dawn's controlling it this round, she can't use that dummy character to essentially have a 2-on-1 against me. A lot of the times it feels like that third player, the board player, the computer player, what dummy character, whatever you want to call it, it sometimes feels like it's not really doing much, but it is important that you have it in there. Sometimes it'll trigger things or cause you or the other person to change your strategy, but it's really easy to do, and it doesn't become some way of ganging up on each other.
Once you reach a kind of milestone with points, the game has you flip over a couple of the tokens, and that changes the point values of the different areas. So that's a neat aspect that changes it a little bit partway through the game. Also, the fact that there are more of those tokens than there are spaces, that changes up, as well as all of the complication cards. It's definitely has a lot of replay value.
Yeah, it's something that you can keep coming back to, and it's fun with a larger group, and we do enjoy playing it just one-on-one.
It's a good game for adults as well as kids, especially I think older kids, and a fun way to kind of introduce like germ theory to your children in a fun educational way.
Yeah, definitely a family-friendly game. Or maybe if you're introducing these types of board games to folks that have only ever played Monopoly before, this is definitely a good one for that.
If you got scientists or medical friends, they might be interested in this.
I do like that there's a few different strategies that you can play. It can become aggressive, like you can directly attack other players. So if you want to play aggressively like that, that's a strategy. You can try to just swarm the organs and keep area control that way. You can try to be really defensive, or you can try to just have a few viruses in all the different organs. So pick a strategy that sounds good to you and run with it that way. Plus, it's neat because there are cards that you can pick up throughout the game, so your virus sort of gets stronger. You're not just stuck with what your initial hand is.
There's also a fun mechanic of everybody chooses their cards and then reveals at the same time. So I find it fun to try and figure out where I think other people are going, to try and strategize that way. And sometimes it backfires because they're trying to figure out where I'm going, so we go in opposite directions. But that's a fun mechanic of not only just you're playing the board, but I think that's a mechanic where it is you are playing the other players in a competitive aspect that's not PvP.
Yeah, it's a little bit more trying to figure out their strategy. There is a PvP aspect if you want to go that way, but you're always sort of that trying to figure out the next move of the other person. So that's Viral by Arcane Wonders. Have you played this, or have you played some of their other games? You might want to go ahead and pick this one up. Do you have a favorite strategy or a favorite virus that you like to play? Let us know in the comments below.
Thanks so much for watching. We make videos here Tuesdays and Thursdays, but go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos.
A big thanks to all of our patrons, and especially to RV. If you want to support our channel, you can head over to our Patreon page and check out the perks of being a patron. So until next time, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Dawn.
And we are Roll for Initiative. Bye! We're sitting on different sides. It's weird. Hi, I'm Dawn! You ready?
Yeah.
On the series.
We're back.
We're back talking about the ethics of making deals with dark gods.
Still arguing. It's fine.
Oh, and look, another day has passed.
Another day has passed. When last we left our heroes, shattered. The cracks had begun to form in the party after their brief encounter with the Prince of Lies, and everyone had returned to the ship, or in some cases the ocean, to mend themselves in various ways, or break themselves more. We'll see what happens.
Get more confused. It's fine.
Some people, got invitations or clues to go to places. But now we're back, and it's the next morning on the Black Cherry.
Jobetta's going to see what she can do about getting male Albertosaurus and getting the 3 big dinosaurs shipped back to the keep.
All right.
Black Cherry and try to fight in the morning or whatever. Train.
Oh, Black Cherry will give you another training session in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find Redan. Hey, if we're not leaving right away, we should go see if we can find Wendell Gear Strip.
Oh. Sorry.
Who's that?
He was a shopkeep, the reputable shopkeep that was with recommended him for larger, more complicated artillery type mechanical arms. Perhaps there's something that we could have sent back to the keep. Could be essential defenses.
Look, I'm good to join you, but may I borrow your stone for a moment? Descending stone.
Oh yeah, of course.
Spoonie, Calazar, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes. This is Calazar. Spoonie's doing a thing. What's up?
Hey Cal, it's Redan. When we arrived initially to the keep, Philip was with us. I just used the mirror to check in on him. He walked off in a direction east of the crab shack as if he was following something. Can you investigate that?
I'll have the warlocks look into it, I guess.
All right, thank you. We'll have an update later.
Yeah, Calazar.
Well, what? Yes.
Quick hypothetical question.
Okay.
If you thought for some reason that there were going to be an attack on your ancestral home, would you care?
My home? Absolutely not.
Your family home?
No.
Okay.
No, not even a little bit.
I figured as much. Yeah, that's why.
The place is a ruin anyways. The only thing there is bodies.
Yeah, what? Oh, hold on. The bodies are still there?
When the warlocks found me, I had been kidnapped and brought back to said ancestral home, where I had to kill mother and brother.
Oh, shit. Okay, then there's something you need to know. Blackwind has gone there. Probably seeking ammunition or soldiers or whatever the hell he's doing with his wraith things. Lich stuff.
Oh!
Yes. Not good.
Okay.
Yes. I think we're on the same page with this.
Are you on the coping closet page?
No, I haven't quite gotten to coping yet.
No, that's the page I'm on. Talk later. Bye.
Bye.
Krishano,
Yeah.
I recognize it is us who spoke to Sirak, but should we inform Calazar, Spoonie, and the Warlocks and ask their opinions as well?
Yeah, sure. Why the fuck not? Let's get everybody's dumbass, misguided opinion in here. We'll ask more living, short-sighted people what they want to do and which of these all-powerful assholes they side with. Honestly, I don't care. If you feel we should get their opinions, let's get their opinions. Whatever.
Thank you for clarifying at the end. I thought you were serious. I just asked because I thought it would be wise to consider the option. I agree with you. The more people we seem to involve, the more emotions seem to get drugged in.
Exactly. When it comes down to it, don't go meeting with a god you don't intend to make some sort of deal with. They always want something. When a god has never given something with asking nothing in return, why would you even? We don't need to get into it. Let's try to stay focused.
Agreed. Let's go.
And yeah, we're gonna go start asking around about gear strip works.
All right. You find gear strips works fairly quickly.
Cool. Wander on in.
All right. You wander in, and as you come in the door, there is a box next to the door that flops open like a Jack in the Box. And this crudely painted figure, and its wooden mouth moving out of sync with the words, "Welcome to Gear Strip Works."
Oh god, he's one of those inventors.
Just a point of note, Redan looks like Owen Stone right now.
All right. I have to burn spell slots to do that shit. This is not fair.
It was worth the money.
Yeah, it was definitely worth the money. All right. Is there any living person here?
Just a moment. Wait. Sit down. And this gnome walks out, and he's got this weird hat on. And sit down. Don't tell me anything at all.
Sit down where?
Anywhere, any chair, right here.
Fuck it, I'm game.
And he goes. He adjusts some things on this helmet. He looks at you and he says, "You've come from a far off place to sell me something."
Little off.
You have questions that you need answered.
I mean, these are being very vague. I can do the same thing without a helmet. This is called a cold read. It's an old trick.
You're right. Throws it in the garbage.
Yeah. I appreciate the effort, though. It's quite
I'll
nice.
get to work on version 2.6.
Yeah. Is that an enchantment or a mechanical device?
Mechanical device. It's supposed to read your brain waves and then feed that information directly to me, but clearly it doesn't work.
Oh, I take the helmet, put it on, and try to read his mind.
Have you tried enchantments?
I don't use enchantments. That's not the way. Magic is a crutch. All these things can be achieved through technology. That is what they teach us with Gaunt.
All what things?
All the things that people use magic for.
What about the higher magics?
What kind of higher magics?
Godly magics?
Oh.
The power over life and death? Can that be achieved through mechanical means?
I have thoughts on this. And some rough schematics.
Interesting. I very much want to spend the rest of the session diving into.
The boat is going to leave without you.
I very much want to hear that you don't happen to have any sort of published material. It seems like you're early in the works. You probably only have your notes.
It's mostly my notes. There's a couple ideas. There is a revivification chamber. There is a electronic reanimator that I've been working on, and there's a number of different things.
I have a friend who would very much like to speak with you. We were well recommended to come speak with you. I'm sorry. Where are my manners? My name is Kashano the Quick. This is Redan. We are of the Avalon Knights Academy. Are you aware of the Avalon Knights?
Yes.
Insight
I have heard of them.
Insight check.
All right, and Redan, you want to read his mind?
Yeah, I want to just play and see if I can get the.
Is he actually? I don't know.
Talk with him.
Okay.
All right, so you're playing with your thing. You focus really hard. Your mind reading powers aren't coming through.
What? Your machine does not work.
I know, but version 2.6, I'm going to add extra power and a couple other things.
Well, we over at the Avalon Knights Academy have come a long way in search of.
Yes, you feel like he has vague, approximate knowledge.
We've come a very long way in search of someone of your kind of skills. We need to get a little bit creative about our defensive situation.
Oh, creative defenses. I have thoughts on those too. And he goes into things just like plans flying everywhere.
Do you have any sort of large sunlight generator? Or something similar. Specifically, a weapon that could create a blast akin to sunlight that would help to harm a creature vulnerable to sunlight.
I have an electronomic illuminator.
Is that like, you're going to have to help me out here.
Here, allow me to unveil this. It's just a prototype. And he pulls out this overly large kind of bronze apparatus and he cranks it up and then lets off the blanket, and it has a bronze backing and it's emitting a light straight out at you as he cranks it. And the harder he cranks it, the brighter he gets.
Do I have any way to get a feel for whether or not this is like legit simulated, like radiant energy?
That's not. You could do an Arcana check to see if there's anything wholly radiant
to
about
see
it.
If it feels like radiant energy.
Yeah.
It's not my wheelhouse.
Nah, it's not your wheelhouse. It feels like light to you. Like you're not. You don't know a discernible difference between magical holy light and light.
Yeah. This is. I mean, this is quite impressive, but I don't know how we would go about testing to be sure that it would work for our purposes.
Well, there's a number of different things we can do, but they all involve capturing a live undead. Well, a dead
Yeah. That could be how is it working out in this area? How's business?
Oh, it's all right. A lot of traders come in buying interesting trinkets. They go off, spread the news, and then it all comes back here.
Yeah, I suppose. Have you ever thought of relocating to the mainland?
Well, there's some possibility of it.
I mean, more people.
If I can find somebody to fund my research.
Well, I was actually, thinking of proposing such a thing. You see, we are an academy after all, and it is very much in our nature to employ those who seek greater knowledge, greater understanding of the world, both natural and arcane. I think you could find quite an interesting arrangement there for yourself. Access to a great deal of materials, creatures, both dead, alive, and undead, that could lend to your experimentation, and we'd be more than happy to fund your research.
All right. Here's what I want. I will take commissions on research projects that you wish for me to complete, and I would like a general research fund for things that I want to work on my downtime.
What sort of general research fund would you need?
I think my general research, I could probably get away with 500 gold per month.
500 a month, I believe would be quite doable. We've been opening up new revenue sources. Of course, this would be contingent upon you helping with our current defensive situation. Like I said, finding a way to best defend against those creatures vulnerable to sunlight.
Absolutely. I'm a professional. Any commissions take immediate priority. And then when I'm not doing commissions, I'll work on my own ideas. If I come up with anything interesting, you guys get first dibs.
And would you be really willing to relocate to the keep so that we have you close by on site and communicate more quickly?
If you've got a proper workshop for me, no problem.
We can certainly have the workshop. It'll be ready for you by the time you arrive. How long would it take you
the
to...
whole purpose of this place is just fund my research. If you guys can pay for it, I don't really need a shop anymore.
Yeah, well, how long would it take you to pack up your various equipment and find yourself over to the Desert Valley?
I want to say instantaneously, but it's not fully tested. So let's say 5 days.
Let's err on the side of caution. I think 5 days will be just fine. We will send ahead to make sure the workshop is made ready for you.
All right.
All
Can't
right.
wait to move into the new workshop.
Shaking on that.
All right.
And, I'll give him the detailed, I'll mark it on a map.
All right.
He doesn't wander around the valley for a few days and, get lost. When you arrive, they will be expecting you. Don't be surprised. Many of the defensive forces are made up of goblinoids, kobolds, various individuals that some civilizations don't find quite as savory, but I'm sure a learned man such of yourself would see past such, discriminatory attitudes.
Hey, as long as people let me do my work, fine by me.
Good man. I knew you were the right one to come to. So, yes, we will see you as we return.
Hey, what's this place like? There's a lot of... If, say, somebody builds something that could be called a doomsday device, are people going to be really hung up on that?
Some people might. You might want to, be careful how you brand that. But I think you'll find many of us surprisingly receptive to such an...
Of course, I'm very good at branding. Instead of doomsday device, I like to go with universal deterrent.
That's good. Yes, that's something that I think a lot of them will get behind.
Excellent.
All right. Well, pleasure meeting you, and looking forward to doing much great science with you in the future.
No problem.
And yeah, we're going to go on. I will go ahead and I will pay up your first, as a measure of good faith, your first month research budgets. You give him 500 gold.
Oh, I can't wait to start.
Fantastic. And unless Redan's got anything else to say, I guess we'll go.
Nope, I'm good.
All right.
All right. We'll go on out of there. As soon as we get out of there, I'm going to hop on the stone. Calazar, MT, whoever's there.
Yes, this is MT1. Calazar is in the closet.
Ooh, yeah. Try to check on him if he's in there too long. He was given some unfortunate news that has to be dealt with. The coin that we placed in the vault via the bag, has that been allocated yet?
No, it has not currently been allocated to any specific projects.
All right. Please pass along the message to Calazar and Spoonie, and especially to Wormspit, that we have one Wendell Gearstrip, a quite talented inventor of sorts, coming along to join us in our efforts and boost the academic prowess of the keep. Is going to be doing quite a bit of research, but first helping us with our current situation. We need to allocate some of that gold to immediately getting the workshop ready for him.
Very well. I will see to it that Wormspit puts the goblins on the task.
Very good. Thank you, MT1, as always. How is everything else in your assessments?
Overall, spirits are high.
That's good.
People are optimistic, and people really seem to like the new blacksmith.
Oh, yes. How's he working out? Has he taken to arming? Have we got everyone shielded and sorted?
No, he needs to requisition the proper funds and supplies, so he's waiting on direction for that. But he has fired up the works and begun making improvements. I myself am making some combat improvements on my form.
Really? That's fantastic. Perhaps I would just offer this as a suggestion, not a directive, but if there are workers to spare, perhaps there's some opportunity for them to scavenge for scrap metal to at least get started with some rudimentary armaments.
Well, that's an interesting idea. Perhaps I will see if Wormspit has anyone skilled in prospecting. Perhaps there's something in the nearby mountains that we can utilize.
Oh, yes. Mining is an option. We have quite a few cobalt on staff, don't we?
Yes, if nothing is claimed, it is technically free land.
That's true. Good thinking. Good thinking, MT. All right. Thank you for your continued excellent service to the Academy.
It is an honor to be of service.
Click. I mean, it's a flip.
Just like set it down. Rocky talkies. Okay.
How have I never heard that before? All right, cool. We'll head on back.
All right. So getting another Albertosaurus sets you back 350 gold to get a male one.
Can I try to negotiate that? I assume I went to Skip. That's where I.
Yeah, you go back to Skip.
Can I try to negotiate that down to 250?
All right. Well, give me that. Give me that persuasion check.
I'm like, Skip. Listen, man. Listen.
Oh,
Skip.
that's a solid persuasion check.
Listen, Skip.
Well, you've been a good customer, so. All right, you can have it for $275.
Oh, Skip, you're such a good man, Skip. You're such a good.
All right, take good care of Charlie now.
Charlie, Snappy, and Al. What lovely little family. And then would Skip be the person to talk to about getting some shipped, or
No, you want to go find somebody in like shipping.
Someone in the docks or somewhere.
Yeah. It doesn't take long. A lot of people are in the shipping business. One guy says he's taking back an empty hold from Water Deep, and he's got room for dinosaurs.
Okay.
Yes, I have room for many rare dinosaurs in my cargo. No, that guy's not also a
That guy
sailor.
is
Okay,
everywhere.
I was gonna say if it's that guy, I'll go find someone else.
He is Gil from The Simpsons. He just shows up.
Yeah,
No, okay.
gotta get a sail.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's that guy, I was gonna go somewhere else. Like,
No,
I'll
there's-
just
the-
figure
the-
something else out.
You can get them shipped. 3 dinosaurs, particularly bowling ball, to get shipped out is going to be a substantial cost. It's going to cost you about 800 gold pieces.
Jesus, how much is it?
The
for
shipping's where they always get you.
just bowling ball.
For just bowling ball, it is 300 gold pieces.
I feel like your concept of shipping costs is skewed because you're Canadian.
Yeah, he's factoring in the cross.
Everything is more
Cross
expensive to Canada.
international shipping.
Yeah.
That's not. How much is it? And then how
No,
much?
look, shipping live animals is expensive. All right.
That's true.
I mean, that's not that bad just to get bowling ball shipped because I feel like we could. I should say could easily fish for stuff to feed the others.
Yeah,
Bowling ball is just bowling ball is
because you caught the biggest fish, right?
bowling. Well, are you gonna keep helping? I don't know. We haven't talked about it.
Probably not. No.
Exactly. Bowling ball, I feel like, is the biggest responsibility.
Well, and you gotta feed them greens, and there aren't a lot of those in the ocean unless you want to go get them bales of kelp.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's going to be super salty, so we're going to find tons of fresh water for them.
Yeah, and this way we can keep the little family together, you know. Because I gotta ship one of them because Black Cherry said only 2, so I guess I'll just I guess I'll just ship bowling ball.
All right, bowling ball for 300 gold will be shipped to the keep.
Cool.
Bowling ball is my favorite.
I know.
I'm gonna say I kind of fell in love with bowling ball after the last session. It's just like this rotund triceratops.
Oh, man. I'm hoping that voice was something that you were like, well, this if this is what I'm looking for, this is what they're gonna get.
So
We're
that
not
voice was
riding in-
because I wanted you to pick bowling ball is what it was.
We're
Yeah.
not going to be riding into battle on dinosaurs, and Kashana's going to be on bowling ball in the back, just like,
Hey,
coming.
I'll be there in a couple of days.
You guys go ahead.
And it makes sense to ship bowling ball back too, so that he can help with any construction needs.
Right, maybe he
That's
can
what-
help with the mining operation.
Yeah.
We now might actually be clearing a quarry, so.
So
Aha.
so I'll ship bowling ball back, and we'll keep Snappy, Charlie, and Al. God, that's so cute. Anyway, sorry. We'll keep Snappy, Charlie, and Al, I guess, with us because she said we could have 2 big ones. So
All right.
no money this way.
Okay.
So I'll do that. And then as soon as I've got that, like, shaking hands and doing the thing,
Right.
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try to find Kashano so that I can let them know that there's a big ass dinosaur on the way.
All right. Kashano and Radan, I imagine you guys went back to the ship. All right. So after Black Cherry finishes her training session with Lilith, they get ready to load up their ship and get it out of there.
Yeah, Gilberta's gonna find Kashano. I find Kashano. Yes. She's gonna say, "Can I borrow the sending stone for just a moment?"
Oh, yeah, sure.
She's gonna and
Blowing those guys up today.
she's gonna say, "You'll see," and she'll like, "Hello,
Yes.
what? Okay, hey, what's up?"
Not much is up.
Okay, so sending a big dinosaur to you.
All right.
His name's Bowling Ball.
This would be more effective if the stables were repaired.
Yeah, I don't think he probably would fit.
How big is this dinosaur?
He's what kind of dinosaur was he? I don't remember off the top of my head.
He's a Triceratops.
Yeah, okay.
It's a trinicorn.
He's a Triceratops. He's very slow. Should we? How much was it to fix the stables?
Well, if you look in your journal, and there's a handy dandy guide of everything that's in there that I created for everyone.
Forgot about that. I don't see it.
Yeah, actually, it's not in there.
Where did it go? Okay, never mind. Apparently, they've
All we have is mysterious note in our character.
So yeah, don't at me.
Whatever. Fine. Okay. I guess all the hard work I did disappeared.
I don't. I got
It's gotta be in there
mysterious
somewhere.
note. And then I have,
Yeah, no, I had it done up for you guys and shit.
and like I can see the.
Yeah, no, it's not in
little-
mine either. Okay, whatever. Fine. Okay.
And I can see Yeeby's blank character sheet.
It is not much. It's only like 1,000 gold to repair the thing.
1,000 gold. Does anyone have a problem with if we just go ahead and put 1,000 of that gold towards?
Since we're acquiring a menagerie.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And I think we should have the workers to do it. We also have them prioritizing the workshop. We just hired on an engineer.
An engineer? What? Is it that one? What was his name?
Gear strip.
Cool. What's he like? Anyway, later.
Quite a sharp gnome. Good guy.
Good. I like that. Gnomes are cool. And she's gonna say, all right, so yeah, we can go ahead and put the 1,000 toward it. And he's slow, but he should be able to help with construction, and he's very strong.
Okay.
Yes, the potential mining operation we discussed with MT earlier, if that comes to fruition, could be quite useful in that.
Sorry, the stables is only 500 gold. I found my handout.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, get it done.
Behold!
Yeah, let's just do. Oh, there it is.
Hey.
So that's fine. And we also will be bringing back with us. We've got Al, and then we have Snappy and Charlie. We've got Albertosaurus. They're gonna breed. So we're gonna have an Albertosaurus farm.
We'll discuss all of that later.
Very well. I will see to it that the stable is repaired, and we will do our best to make use of this bowling ball you are sending us.
Yes, bowling ball. He's very good. I won a dinosaur race.
Congratulations. Oh, what is Gilberta done with this trophy?
Oh, man, don't worry about it. No, how big was it?
It's a good sized trophy. Like you can lift it with both hands.
Okay.
Wait,
Well,
It's like
I assume
it is.
No, she won't.
It is
travel
gold.
with
It
this
is
one,
gold trophy.
But she won't travel with it this way. But she probably would have had one of the crew like affix it to the front of the ship. Like,
it has a place of pride up at the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
I worked really hard for that. Okay. So many animal handling checks went into winning that trophy.
Gotta let the rest of the dock know who's here.
Yeah. This is Gilberta.
Noted dinosaur racing legend.
Woo! Them fucking 1
All
to
right.
20 odds.
Any other orders for the keep?
No, I just wanted to.
Yeah, I think other than that, we're really leaving it in the hands of the warlocks there.
All right.
I just didn't want to send a random dinosaur. over
Supposing they make it back and they don't get all werewolfed up. Tune in tomorrow for Too Many Warlocks.
Tune in tomorrow to see if the warlocks turn into werewolves.
Keither will be back, so they'll survive.
And I'll say, yeah, I bought. So this is Charlie. I assume I let him back with me.
Yeah, I guess Charlie is with you. He's munching on the to-go bag of meat that you're given.
Yeah. So that's good. I was gonna ship them back as well, but that was quite a bit more money. So just figured just go with bowling ball for now. That way he can help in the construction efforts.
Glad to see we're keeping our priorities in order throughout.
Also,
Stick on the boat.
Salune had some shit to say.
My God had some thoughts, guys.
She had some thoughts. She did. She was in agreement with me not to make a deal with Sirak. If that is the route that you people come to agree upon, I will not be participating in that. I have nothing that I want from him, no information that I want from him.
Then why did
what? She did, however, say that with those 3 items he mentioned, that there's a potential that we could use those 3 items to take Sirak out. So I don't know, Kashana, if you want to be a god, maybe this is your chance. I don't know. I know Kashana well enough to know that I gotta give him.
Is that it? If you beat him in a fist fight, do you become the new Sirak? Like,
that's why I just laugh. I'm just like, I don't think that's quite how it works. But
he killed Lyra, stole her powers. So I don't know if that's how her name is actually pronounced.
Or is it Lyra?
Maybe.
I don't know. Either way.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Did she happen to say how?
No, she said that if we did acquire the items, to pray to her again, and that she would tell me what I needed to do next.
So just like out of the blue, she says, "Hey, you should really do that thing that the Prince of Lies told you to do."
No. The thing that the Prince of Lies wanted us to do was to get the items and give them to him.
He wants us to acquire the items. He obviously can't
Give
himself.
to him.
Yeah. And someone else pops in and says, "Hey, here's a different reason to acquire the items and go to his presence."
I mean,
Did you find that suspicious?
were we not going to acquire them either way? Because we can sell them.
Well, I don't know why we even came here if we weren't going to make a deal with him.
We came here to talk to him.
What did you think was going to happen?
What he wanted in return.
What did you think he would want? So do you think that this god that you claim is pure evil and absolutely opposed to everything you believe in would want something that you were okay with?
I mean, I didn't want to do this at all, to be quite frank with you. But I followed you here.
I wish you would have spoke up sooner.
That's a Redan facepalm.
Really wish you would have spoke up sooner.
I have said from the beginning that I had no interest in talking to him. But
Regardless.
I came with you because you wanted to see this through, and we all want Cookie back. I understand that.
Did Salune give you any way to contact Fuck, I can't remember his name.
She said she's going to commune with him.
Kevin?
Klimvor.
Kevin the god.
Kevin, the death god. Hi, I'm Kevin. Are you guys
Kevin.
in Afterlife?
You guys dying? Or wait,
You okay? Can I bring you anything?
Do you want some? I made Rice Krispie squares.
No, Kevin. No,
Sorry. Serious moment.
Oh god.
Did she give you any way to contact?
She said that she is going to speak with Klimvor and see if there's any way that he can help us or guide us.
I don't mean.
Sorry, I was a little put off. I didn't expect her to talk to me when I was out. I was gone last night because I swam out as far as I could into the ocean so that to get out of the range of Uptau's pact of not.
Yeah, I don't mean to doubt your relationship with Salune by any means, but the god of lies would have many tricks and much time to practice them in his current state. I would just encourage you to verify the next time you can be certain you're speaking with Salune in a temple, perhaps. Verify that conversation was, in fact, with her. But that's completely your...
Well, the only other time, I've spoken to her before in the Temple of Waterdeep. In her temple in Waterdeep.
I'm just saying the next time you have an opportunity to speak to her in a place where you can be certain it's her you're speaking to, perhaps verify it was her you were speaking to then. I just don't want to. I don't want to take any chances with.
She also said that it would help the situation if I could make amends with my sister. Which I sent her a letter. I don't know where that's gonna go. That's kind of that part. I can't really force her to do anything, really. That was my goal all along, and then Sirak was saying some bullshit. But
yeah. Well,
Black Cherry comes out and she says, "Whatever you do, do not fight. That's what he wants. To break my husband's heart. It was my plan. I take responsibility for it."
Would Cookie want us to make this deal with Sirak? He seemed to be pretty clear in his final message to us that he didn't want us taking any great risks to restore him.
He did say that. And he probably wouldn't want this. This is a selfish quest for me.
Well, then let's move forward. I think our goal, if it's possible, should be to speak with Clemvor. If the person you were in fact talking to last night was Selune, and there is in fact a way to use these items to unseat Sirak, then Clemvor may be willing to offer us trade to accomplish that task.
I had not thought of that.
Perhaps we can still
Damn, I
be
love
back.
it, boy.
Sometimes I do come through.
Should we acquire the items first?
Oh, and she'll say, oh,
Prove we can-
she'll say, I did put a little bit of the prize money towards the buying the dinosaur for breeding and shipping, but here's 1,500, and she'll give 1,500 gold to her dad to put in the
keep fund.
Yeah. I'm keeping less than half of it because you factor in what I spent for the keep.
That's fantastic.
All right.
But I'll give Redan 1,500 to.
All right, it's logged.
All right. So, well, if there are no objections, perhaps we move forward to Primo Paso. In the meantime,
Wait,
begin unraveling.
is that what we're doing next? What are we?
Yes, we are setting sail to Primo Paso.
All right, that's cool.
There's potentially quite a bit of power for us to gain there, Gilberta, as I think you know. And in the meantime, we begin figuring out precisely where these other items are and also how to contact Clemvor.
If we do it to acquire them, it wouldn't be a bad idea. If he has asked us, chances are he will ask someone else as well.
Yeah, and I mean, from the sounds of it, if they're as powerful as Sirak and Selune are saying they are, then maybe we want to keep them out of the wrong hands anyway. Yes,
this is what I'm driving at. If he asks someone else, they may not have good intentions when they find them.
Yeah. Well, for the time being, I believe that the ship is protected from scrying, at least from a certain level of it. So we should be able to move relatively freely while on it. But I do... who's got the steadiest hand?
I would suspect that would be Lilith, if she hasn't been drinking.
She has been, probably.
Or maybe if she...
Good morning.
It would be worse if she hasn't been drinking.
Who's got the best sleight of hand score? They have the steadiest hand.
My sleight of hand skill is a 7.
Jesus. I can't do that, but my medicine's 8. I can fix
So I guess we'll make our way back to the ship at this point? I don't know. Was Lilith out there?
Oh yeah, she's out there. She was training on the ship, so they're
Oh, that's right.
they're getting ready to set off now.
Just imagine me answering, I don't know, meeting the crew or whatever. I don't know. Just making up something now.
Lilith, this symbol on Radan's back. I need one. Probably not quite that large, but could you help me out with that?
With what?
I need you to carve a rune into my body.
Into him.
I can try.
I would have waited till we're back on the ship to say this. Okay, great.
Do not maim yourselves. We're going to Primo Paso. We can talk to Anthony.
Don't maim yourself.
Is that where the tattooist is?
Yes.
Oh.
I think someone more experienced might.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah. Kashana's immediately like, oh, no, okay, never mind. Put the knife down, Lilith. Put the
Anthony
knife
will
down.
set you up properly.
Fantastic.
And the sails are brought in, or the anchor's brought in, the sails are let out. The ship lurches out of the dock and out to sea. Fresh sea air blows in.
Boats.
Black Cherry kind of takes a moment when you guys are all together after they've stood out, and she says, "Do not let him get into your heads. Do not turn against each other. We will take these things that he's foolishly let us know about, and we'll use them to our own ends and keep other people from using them to help him.
Aye, aye.
We will find another way to get our husband back, my husband back."
Yeah, I happen to have a ticket to another way. I'm going to see where it leads. Just letting you all know.
Are you talking about the clown? Please?
I'm just letting you all know what I'm going to do. This wasn't a question. This is my path.
Mine, what I said was a question.
Very well.
Yes.
And she goes back to driving the ship. You guys said far out to sea, further than any of you have been, even you, Joe Betta.
That's pretty far. I'll be honest.
To the point that there is no visible land around you. It's just
Ooh, that sounds great.
wide open ocean as far as the eye can see in all directions. And it's quiet out there on the ship. Does anybody have anything they want to commune with? Anything they want to do during the travel portion?
No.
I'll probably put your butt on the side.
What?
She's going to dangle you out the side of the ship.
Oh,
Yeah, just like that. You know?
Money's probably already there. And so-
and ask you where the money is. No.
Does the ship have a plank?
Oh, that'd be amazing if there is one.
There's almost assuredly a plank, but it is
I'm
drunk.
sure there's a plank, right?
There's always a plank. But so what do you want to do with Jabetta?
Oh, I guess, gosh, how to start this thing?
What? I don't know what's happening.
Oh, okay. Lilith will just do what she does, just go point blank to the point.
Okay.
Jabetta. And I'm looking wherever, like, Kushana is like, maybe it's just me, but don't you think he seems... I don't know what the word is, really. Just like a lawless...
Like he's turning into a bad apple?
I wasn't going for that. More like a wall has been put up of some sort.
God, that face. Oh, there's definitely... He has mini walls.
Many walls?
And I know that you're saying you feel like he's just put them up. He's had them up.
He's seem
from
to-
day one. There have been times where I've pierced the stone veil that is Kashano. But for the most part,
Oh, so this is normal then.
he keeps walls around him. I mean, you have to. He's been alone most of his life, and most of the people that he's ever came to trust betrayed him or left him in some way.
I see.
The boy's been through some shit.
Mm.
We all have, but specifically since we're talking about Kashano in the moment. I've been around him for, God, how long has this been in game? Like, holy crap.
It's been a couple months.
Like,
It's been a couple months.
yeah. She's like, I've been around him for a while.
We'll say 6-7 months.
Yeah. That's so crazy. She's like, I've been around him for a while. And like I said, I've seen the walls drop, but very briefly and never at 100%.
Okay, so... Alright, maybe I'm overthinking things then. Okay, if it's nothing to be over concerned about, then
I mean,
I'll take your word for it then.
a little concern is always good for us all.
Mm. Well,
Concern keeps you on your toes. As a cleric, I'm concerned about everything. I'm concerned about the nature of evil in the world, just as I'm concerned about the physical and mental well-being of everyone aboard the ship.
yes, we've definitely had a bumpy start. Do you think it's been better, or you think we're at the same spot?
I think that as long as we are all different people, we'll have different ways that we want to accomplish the same things.
Is it safe to call you a friend, or should we just keep this platonic as just workers?
You fucking better.
Oh!
She like steps back and she's like, wait, what? Wait, what are you saying? You like we're not friends.
My apologies, Javetta.
I do not craft flowers for people that I don't consider.
That's not how this works.
Good to know. Good to know.
Hold up.
Oh,
Not
cheers.
druidcraft flower paths for just anybody.
Cheers to that. Yes. Oh, that's definitely a good relief.
She says, now, I don't know about how the others feel, but
So
I consider all of you friends. Except, I don't know, Radan, he's been changed. I don't know what's happening with him. Don't know what's going on there.
He said something weird back at the.
He like didn't care about animals for a minute. I don't like that.
What do you think Sirak meant back over there about? Crap, I don't even remember what was the word exactly. The thing.
Wait, what are we talking about? What?
Sirak said something, like he was pointing out to each of the characters. You know.
Oh yeah, he said he was schizophrenic.
Was it those words exactly? Okay.
yes.
Yep, it was. That's what he said. I wrote it down.
Okay. Well, Lilith will be, showing a little bit ignorance and like, what is that? And then...
It's basically he's really moody. That's the most basic way that really I can put it. Like it's kind of not quite multiple personalities, but very detached.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
right.
I don't like the one of him that doesn't like animals.
I don't like the one of them that
I
doesn't
like the
care
other
whether or
one.
not we have a happy dinosaur family.
I like the one. I like the Redan that beamed with joy when I had Riptide get on the back of Lady Bella with him.
Oh, maybe today's a new day. Different mood. I don't know.
Fucking hope so, because I'm sick of the one from yesterday.
Hate that guy. So there's about 2 days of travel to get to Primo Paso. Is there anything you guys want to accomplish on the ship during that time? You're not gonna fish. You're not gonna.
You do need to feed your dinosaur.
if we run out of food, I'll fish. But
All right. Give me 2 perception checks to see your fishing, and then 2 athletics checks to see how much you get. So first one is your fish finder. Second is your capability.
and you said what? Athletics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
The first one was
So the first day you do pretty well. You find good bunches of fish. And the second day you're having some trouble tracking fish down. You're having an even harder time catching any. But you've got enough to last them for a while now.
okay. Cool.
From that first day.
All right.
So it's okay that you fucked up the second day.
I was tired, you know.
Is anybody else going to accomplish anything while in transit?
I'm going to be obviously practicing the dagger throws every day. I'm trying to make sure I'm good at something in a combat situation. And I'm going to spend a little more time chatting with the crew, just kind of getting in stories of Primo Paso.
Okay. Primo Paso.
I can learn.
People they call it the first step. It used to be a place where a lot of adventurers would start their journey. And then that super guy showed up. And then there was no adventuring for the longest time. And now it's recovered. It's really grown. They kept the tent city, though. They keep the ruins of it outside as a kind of reminder how bad things can get.
Huh. Interesting. I'm gonna seek out Redan after I've learned this information. Hey, Redan, remember we were looking back in the mirror at some of the memories of the old Avalon Knights crew, and there was a land where one person had taken care of all the adventuring sort of thing, and they showed up there. They were involved in this. Does this ring a bell?
It sounds familiar.
I think that's where we're going. This is Cookie's been here. Blackwind's been here. So I don't know if there's anything else you can learn from the mirror that would help with this. But perhaps on this island of Primo Paso, there's something we can learn.
Well, it's actually a city on a continent.
Or the city of Primo Paso. Perhaps there's some clue to Blackwind's weaknesses, beyond the obvious radiant damage shit.
I will keep my eyes open, but I can't think of anything specifically to utilize the mirror for.
Yeah, neither can I. Useful information nonetheless. Actually, let's hold on. I would like to get on the sending stone and see who's available.
Okay. Hello.
Come in.
This
Hello.
is MT1. What can I assist you with?
MT, how much do you know of the adventures of the original Avalon Knights?
I have extensive catalogs.
What can you tell us of the journey to Primo Paso?
Oh, I'm from there.
Really? How did they come across you and happen to bring you back to the keep?
I was discovered in some ruins. The apparatuses used to construct me were utilized by the founding members of the Avalon Knights to bring me together into the form that you see here now.
Well,
They
I know
then
that.
constructed the apparatus and returned it to the keep, along with the plans and details on how it operated.
And that's what was stolen, yes?
Yes, it was.
Was the apparatus, in fact. All right. During that time, was Blackwind still with them?
Indeed he was.
Do you know if there was any shift in his behavior surrounding that trip?
At this point, Blackwind was acting as normal, although he had quite an interest in the Black Citadel.
The Black Citadel?
Yes, the place where the corruption spreads on that continent. It is walled off from everything else. An order of paladins stands vigil.
Do you
They
know
are
if he...
aided by a group of druids that attempt to reclaim the land and return it to nature, although I'm uncertain as to how much progress they have made at this time.
do you know if he made any discoveries there, made any notes of such discoveries?
No notes were taken about his discoveries there, although he was absent from the party for approximately 10 minutes while in the Black Citadel.
If you could pass along a message, I've been having trouble getting the warlocks on the stone, but if you could pass along a message, ask Penn to look into Blackwind's diary regarding the Black Citadel.
Very well, I will do so.
Thank you as always.
It is a pleasure to be of service.
None of my pens work. Okay. All right, that's all I got.
All right, anybody else? Anything in transit? Can't hear you, Rand.
Can't hear Lilith either.
Dad would like to finish off the 2 books, History of Warlords of the Sword Coast, Adventures Guide to the Islands of the Sword Coast, and just spend as much time alone thinking about what's going on as possible and trying to lock into that control of mind reading.
Okay. Over and over again, your attempts to do so with that, something's very different. It's like, whereas before you tried to utilize it, it's like your mind sent out a request for some power or ability, and then that request was then answered and then bestowed. Now it's like you're getting a busy signal.
Okay, just spending some time meditating, trying to talk to the Deep Dura.
Yeah, Deep Dura is not responding, and she does not respond for the entirety of the trip.
All right. That's all I've got.
All right, anybody else? Anything in transit?
Nope.
Yes,
No.
Lilith?
Sorry. Lilith is probably gonna go and approach Radan.
Okay. You approach Radan. He's meditating in the below decks.
Okay, I'll probably tap at the side of the wall.
Hello, Lilith.
Hello? Am I catching you at a bad time?
Not at all.
Okay. Good. I was curious. Could I borrow the mirror for a moment?
Did you want to be alone?
For a moment.
Of course. Radan pulls out the mirror, leaves it to her, says you don't have to be alone if you don't want to, but I'm happy to give you the space.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And also, I can't read what you gave me. Was that supposed to be for me or for Kashano? I think he's able to read other things, but I can't read this note?
It's for you if you ever find a way to read it.
Oh, like privately you want me to read this thing?
That is up to you.
Oh. Okay, then.
Ever cryptic.
Right? All right, so I guess whenever Lilith like found a little spot to be alone, she's gonna look in the mirror and she's gonna try her damnest to look through into her dad, but not so far back that it includes her, just something recent kind of thing where she wasn't in the picture. You know more about this contract shit.
You see him looking old and withered and decrepit, but still somehow maintaining a kind of air of menace around him. And he is slumped over in a throne, pointing out a gnarled, overgrown finger at various scribes and wizards and ordering them about as they all scramble with different paperwork.
I guess I can't really read that scribe.
And then it fades away.
Lilith probably puts the mirror face down and goes to a corner to try to collect herself, shaking. Just kind of like doing that whole like fetal position thing.
Mm.
And then when she's able to, she'll probably go back and give the mirror back to her down quietly, not saying a word.
All right. If no one else has any other things, the ship will arrive in Primo Paso. As the ship approaches Primo Paso, you can see first what appears to be a ship graveyard. You can see just below the waves, occasionally a mast is jutting up from the water, but just dozens of torn apart, wrecked ships resting on the seafloor as you approach the docks to this place. Followed by jutting spires that appear to be the tops of buildings deeply submerged into the ground, or into the water. Before you finally arrive at the docks, you're taken in. People are ready to offload the ship. The city itself seems to be a kind of burgeoning merchant port. Again, there are people of all manner of races and professions milling about. Kashano, you notice almost immediately a colorful individual standing on the dock.
Walking right over to him.
And as you approach him, he disappears into the crowd and appears further down.
Yeah, going.
Yeah.
You guys see Kashano moving off the ship and following something.
I'm following Kashano. What?
Who all is following Kashano?
He just took off without saying a word.
Yeah, he just. Best. All right.
Do I notice them following me?
No, you are transfixed on this dude. It's almost hypnotic.
Then I keep on following.
All right.
If everyone's going, then
Everyone's going? Lilith going too?
I see everyone going. Just kind of fly to catch up.
All right. Every time you seem to get close to him, he like walks behind one alley and appears in another one further up.
Yeah.
Until you've entered this vast open space with all of these pegs and poles jutting out of the ground with scraps of cloth blowing off them in the wind of all various colors and varieties. and a swirl of air rushes past you as these different scraps of cloth come together and almost emerging from the ground like it was inflating. This multicolored tent
God, it's the card of opportunity.
and emerges up from the ground. And that same colorful individual leans out from behind and says, "Come inside, my boy. We've been waiting for you."
I cast hold person on Kashano.
We're not close enough to do that. However, Radan is close enough. His long stride has brought him up close to Kashano.
I said, at this point, I would have looked around, I think, or am I still just transfixed?
You are transfixed, and he's beckoning on you. If you look around, you see that Radan is quite close to you now, and you see much further away Lilith and Gilbetta trying to run towards you.
Radan, I'm pretty sure I need to do this alone.
Do you have the sending stone?
I do. I don't know that it's going to be any good.
When you come out, if you think you have to do this alone, then you go alone.
Yeah.
I trust you.
No long faces here, Sonny. Want to see a thing? And he takes the coin, puts it in between his fingers, does this, and then there's two, and he throws the second one to Radan. More the merrier. Everyone's welcome at the Carnival of Opportunity. Step inside.
Radan.
I wasn't expecting that.
I keep the token, but I look at Kashano in the eyes and say, if you're not back soon, we'll find you.
Fair enough. And I'm gonna hand him the sending stone though. In case I don't come back. I'm gonna go in.
Sorry, son, no backsies. And he reaches behind his ear, pulls out the same token that he just threw to Radan, and then disappears in his hand. You walk in, Kashano?
Yep.
You walk in, and the curtain closes behind you. Just as Gilbetta and Lilith arrive up to where Radan is.
Where'd he go?
The whole time I'm trying to cast hold person as hard as I can.
You didn't quite get there in time. By the time you reach, he's already gone. And the tent begins to deflate.
Did Kashana go in here?
He did.
What is happening with this place? Is this deflating?
You know what? You remember what this is, right?
Yeah. The whole tent thing's deflating. That's not normal.
I meant the Carnival of Opportunity.
Oh no, and I remember that.
I care about the tent.
And when it's halfway to disappearing, a woman leaps off a nearby building and lands next to you guys. And then quickly shouts, "Come on, we don't have much time." And she fires a crossbow bolt into the tent as it's deflating with a long rope attached to it. She wraps it around one hand and reaches out to all of you. She grabs Gilbetta by the back of the neck, gives her a long kiss, and then pulls down her mask. And it is Kashano the Sharp. And she says, "Do you trust me?"
Gilbetta kisses her back.
Grab on!
And Gilbetta reaches out for she's like, "Lilith," and she looks Lilith like dead ass in the eyes, and she says, "You don't know her, but you know me."
I take the hand if she's putting it out.
And then I look at Radan. He's a wild card. I don't know.
Right.
Said he needed to do this alone.
Kashano's in danger and he's my brother. I know what's best with him. Come on.
I'm wondering if is it the character or the player that's struggling with this decision?
It's both. I feel like
it looks like it.
Oh, the danger overrides. He goes.
And as the tent disappears, the rope grows taut and pulls everybody in with it.
trouble, Kashano. There's always trouble.
And we're going to end a little bit early today.
No!
'Cause next time we're doing the Carnival of Opportunity.
Shadow the Sharp is back!
Oh, this is gonna be wild. This is gonna be good. Oh my gosh.
We never got to the kissing the first time.
Ooh, boy, this is a good one.
That was their first kiss.
It was. It literally was. And I didn't even know who the fuck it was. I mean, I assumed. I feel like Jobetta also probably assumed.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome.
This isn't the first time she's shown up right in the brink of time.
How'd she do?
Oh, this is so gonna be so interesting.
That's how she did.
Ooh.
Oh man!
Oh, I'm so excited.
He thought, did you really think you were going to get to go do this alone? Did you really think that?
I told him every time he asked me about it, he's like, "Do we need to have a separate session? Should we engineer it so I'm already awake?" I'm like, "Man, don't worry about this. This is gonna happen in session. It's gonna be fine."
Oh, this is gonna be so good. I can't wait for next time now. Oh,
so bad. It's gonna be so bad.
it's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be so good and so bad, but we'll see what happens.
Exciting.
This is
Oh my gosh.
like, this is crazy because, especially for me and Redan, because like we're non-bards in Bard land.
Non-bards in Bard.
I'm like the antithesis of a bard. Like this is just.
If I die, I want to play Gear Strip. He's basically like what I was planning for a future character.
He's basically what you want to be.
Okay, that NPC, that one. I want
This
that
crazy inventor.
one. That's awesome.
I was planning a gnome artificer character. So if I could just take over an NPC, it'd be great.
Yeah, well, this would be kind of the thing. All right, so a little early today, but that was going to be the jumping off point for the next episode.
Hot. It's hot up here. It's hot.
Oh, this is gonna be exciting.
Man, I was trying to cast whole person, so I was, oh god. I knew. As soon as I saw what was happening, I was like, he's going. There's no stopping him. He's going. Like,
I told you it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is good because this is gonna be a fun arc right here. We're gonna be fighting some stuff maybe. Ooh, our rolls ready.
Yeah, no, after all these sessions of no combat,
Yeah.
combat time's happening at some point. Maybe, depending on what you do.
I don't know. Jobetta's got some bedroom combat to worry about, okay?
Definitely.
Combat.
I think you're doing it wrong if it's combat.
Or are you doing it?
Oh, sorry. Right for you. I don't want to kink shame. Okay.
There's such a thing as consensual combat, dueling.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Look, there's
It's
things.
called
bedroom dueling.
I'm sure there's websites, but
It's horseplay, you know? And it's just in D&D
Like
world,
literally, are you gonna make her
just-
dress up like a horse?
No.
that's another thing. Okay.
That's a different thing. That's
Pony play. That's pony
thing
play.
with Veronica, okay?
Lady Bella.
I love this game. Okay.
Oh my god.
I almost called her Veronica, and then I was like, no, Jobetta doesn't like that. I call her Lady Bella.
So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for Too Many Warlocks, where we get more fun, and Key 3 gets to come back and see what horrors the boys have unleashed when she was absent. And also be sure to keep track of our channel. Give us a little follow in the down there part, because we do stuff throughout the week when we're not doing Too Many Warlocks, or and it's around here. I guess for me it's this way.
Other side. Other way.
Yeah, it's this side.
Yeah. Mirror.
But during the week when we're not doing this show or Too Many Warlocks on Mondays, we do stream some games. Then all of these fine people that you can see in front of you here as players are all content creators in their own rights, all doing their own things. So be sure to follow them in all their creations. Lilith creates some amazing art. Gilbetta is in all kinds of things, all manner of projects currently on the go and present and future.
Yeah. Accurate.
Lilith and I neither of us have ever played many popular games, so we're starting to
Play
blind
them.
playthroughs We're about halfway through Portal 2 in the co-op, which is a fucking circus of its own, but you know.
And when
think-
that's
I
not
think it'd
happening,
be-
there's all kinds of stuff going on.
I want to join in on that as a person that has played games.
Be the coach.
It's
Yeah.
only like
We
it's only
can-
2-player. You could be an observer.
That's what
We
I'm
could
saying,
use a
like,
coach.
I'll be a spectator. Like,
Oh God, absolute chaos. Thanks so much for tuning in. Give us a follow on the channel. Give us a follow on our Facebook page, and check us out on our Discord if you want to keep track of everything going on with Mercs of Mischief. We do a giveaway every time we reach 100 followers. So keep an eye out for the next big milestone. We got a couple things lined up, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.
my girlfriend's back.
Warlocks and her girlfriend's back, and you're gonna get in trouble. Oh yeah, her girlfriend's back. Thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, class dismissed.